Hello students, welcome again. Students, in today's lecture, we want to discuss George Bernard Shaw as one of the most important dramatists of English literature. In this lecture, we will also have a look at some of the major themes of Bernard Shaw's plays, and we will discuss Shaw's contribution in the field of problem plays and drama of ideas. So now let's begin. See, as you can see on the screen, George Bernard Shaw was born in 1856 and died in 1950. He was an important critic and an important playwright, a dramatist of English literature who has written about 60 plays during his career as a writer. He has been considered as a transitional dramatist. Transitional means, one who is changing from one period to the other. As you can see, the whole literary career of Bernard Shaw, then you will see that most of his important plays were published towards the end of the Victorian era and also in the beginning of the new age, that is called the modern age, in the beginning of the 20th century, and that's why he has been considered as a transitional dramatist of English literature. Bernard Shaw is one of the most influential playwrights of English literature. Why? Because he has presented much amount of wit and social commentary, and particularly he is known for his unconventional approach to drama. The traditional approach to drama that you see in William Shakespeare during the 16th century, 17th and 18th century playwrights, that traditional or conventional techniques have been ignored, have been rejected by George Bernard Shaw, and he has given a new shape and a new meaning to English drama, and that's why his unconventional approach to drama makes him a different dramatist of English literature. Okay, he is also known for his highly complex and multi-dimensional characters. Okay, he is known for his problem plays. He is also known for his drama of ideas. What are his drama of ideas and what is a problem play, that we will discuss later in this video. But first of all, let's have a look at some of the most important plays written by Bernard Shaw. As you can see on the screen, his most important plays are Pygmalion, Man and Superman, Saint John, Candida, Mrs. Warren's Profession, and so on. But in this play, particularly, let me tell you about the play Pygmalion. This Pygmalion was so popular in England, in the beginning of the 20th century, that it was then adapted into a movie. The title of that movie was My Fair Lady, and that movie also became so popular in those days. Not only this, this play Pygmalion is also adapted into Gujarati movies. If you are interested in Gujarati movies, then you must watch the movie Santu Rangili. So in Santu Rangili, it is a movie which is based on Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion. What do you see in this play? In this play, it is a story about a professor who is teaching phonetics. Okay, he transforms a simple flower girl, a lower class girl, into a refined lady by teaching him various techniques and manners of speaking and all. So that play is very eye-catching play according to me. Okay, Shaw's plays were also notable for the use of lengthy prefaces and introductions. This is one another quality that you see in all Bernard Shaw's plays, that in the beginning of his plays he has presented very long introduction, a very long preface, okay, which tells us about the major themes that he wants to present in the play and the major ideas that he wants to convey to the society. All in all, these 5 to 6 plays are very important that we should know as the students of English literature. Now, another question that we want to discuss is, what are the major themes in Bernard Shaw's plays? Then there are 5 important themes that I see. Number 1 is the theme of social class. The idea of social class or the class struggle has been mainly projected by Bernard Shaw in most of his plays. If you read Pygmalion, as I told you, there is a protagonist, Eliza Doolittle. This Eliza is transformed into from a working class girl. She is transformed into a refined lady. So how a person progresses from the lower class to the upper class, or what are the manners and attitudes of different classes in our society, that has been the that has been mainly presented by Bernard Shaw in that play. Not only this, if you read his another very popular play, Mrs. Warren's Profession, okay, there we come across the theme about the consequences of the woman's decision to enter into a sex trade in order to support her family. So what is the mental psychological condition of the woman who forcefully enters into the sex trade? That has been the topic of discussion in that play. I mean, all in all, social class system and the problems of this social class system in our society have been the center of attraction in most of his plays. Another important theme is women's rights. In the beginning of the 20th century, I have presented another video on feminism. You can watch it there. I have mentioned that in the beginning of the 20th century, feminism was developing faster and gender roles have been considered seriously in the beginning of the 20th century, which you find in Bernard Shaw's plays also. Particularly, you read Candida. This play presents a strong and independent female protagonist who chooses between the two shooters. Okay, in those times, the women were not given so much liberty to choose her partner, but I told you, Bernard Shaw is an unconventional writer who does not follow the tradition. He breaks the tradition. So he has presented such a character called Candida. In Saint John also, we find Joan of Arc, the character, and how she struggles to lead the French army despite the restrictions of the society. People generally believed that no lady can be the leader in the army, but Bernard Shaw goes against the traditional ideas and has presented such a character who leads the French army. Okay, so such ideas. Number 3, marriage and relationships. In most of his plays, you find these ideas of marriage and relationships. Okay, this theme is explored. If you read Man and Superman, okay, here Bernard Shaw has presented a protagonist, the main character, who is not willing to marry, and he believes that love is just a kind of enslavement. Okay, when you fall in love or when you get married, you become a slave of your partner. So this idea has been presented. His another play, Major Barbara, also examines the tension between the father and the daughter. Okay, both these characters, the father and the daughter, they have different opinions about religion, which has been presented. So the family life, family relationships and marriage relationships, that has also been projected in most of his plays. Number 4, politics and society. Shaw is interested in political issues, okay, also social issues like poverty, inequality, and how the government leads the country, what policies affect the common man. These things have been widely discussed by Bernard Shaw in most of his plays, particularly if you read The Doctor's Dilemma. This is another important play written by Bernard Shaw, The Doctor's Dilemma. Here, this drama explores the ethical issues surrounding the medical treatment. Okay, in Arms and the Man also, he has presented a satire on the romanticization of war. War is a serious thing. You should not romanticize such wars, okay, because after all it is about killing the people, right? So these things are there. Number 5, the last important theme that we see in his plays is morality and ethics. I tell you, Bernard Shaw was a highly moralistic dramatist. Okay, he satirizes the weakness of the society, and he has challenged all the traditional ideas about what is right and what is wrong. This theme is explored in his play Mrs. Warren's Profession, okay, which questions the morality of the sex trade. People start making faces when we look at the prostitutes, but actually we need to go deeper into the idea and try to understand the mental, economical, and social status of the prostitutes. Okay, so that has been presented in a moralistic manner. All in all, most of his plays are highly ethical and moral. As I told you in the beginning of the lecture, we will also examine Bernard Shaw as a dramatist of problem plays and as the dramatist of drama of ideas. Robert Brustein has rightly said, you read these lines said by Robert. He said that Shaw was a dramatist of ideas who used the stage as a platform to explore the big questions of life and society, the major ideas which appeal our human life, the human society, has been presented by Bernard Shaw, and Shaw has used drama as an important platform to express his ideas on this, and that's why his plays are known as drama of ideas. Bernard Shaw has also been considered as the pioneer, as one of the most important dramatists of problem plays, okay, in which he has discussed the social and political problems, major problems of the British society. Okay, his contribution to the problem play is very significant. Some of his plays are famous as problem plays like Mrs. Warren's Profession, I told you, Major Barbara, that also I told you, in which he has, in Major Barbara, Bernard Shaw has talked about, presented the tension between the religion and social justice. Okay, so these are some of the important ideas. He has actually challenged the conventional ideas and the conventional morality and ethics, and that's why he is a different dramatist of English literature. His most famous play Pygmalion, also I told you in the beginning, this play also presents the issues of class, gender, and identity in the beginning of the 20th century. All in all, Shaw's plays were also notable for the use of realistic dialogues. Okay, he has presented the realistic picture, natural dialogues that we generally use in our day-to-day conversation, have been used by Bernard Shaw in all his plays, and that's why his plays are also known as realistic problem plays. Okay, all in all, let me conclude this discussion by saying that I have taken this quotation from Richard H. Palmer. He said that Shaw was a towering means the most important figure, personality in literature, in literary and intellectual life of his times. Which times? Beginning of the 20th century, and his influence is still felt today. In the beginning of the 21st century also, his influence can never be ignored. The dramatists of today's times are also still influenced, and they learn so many things from Bernard Shaw's plays, and that's why Bernard Shaw has been considered as the dramatist almost next to William Shakespeare. If someone asks you who is the greatest dramatist of English literature, the answer is obvious, William Shakespeare. But if someone asks you who is the second most important dramatist of English literature, then the answer, remember, George Bernard Shaw. Why? Because in all his plays, you find unconventional characters, you find realism, you find problems, the common problems of the society, you find ideas, drama of ideas, major ideas have been projected, much amount of wit, intelligence and satire is found in his plays, and ultimately and at the end, high philosophical ideas are expressed by Bernard Shaw in his plays, and all these things combine together to make him the second most important dramatist of English literature. So here I end up this video. Please do share this video among all your classmates and friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you.